How would you describe yourself?
How would I describe myself? I would describe myself as a filmmaker and a lover of cinema. I love cinema. I love watching movies. Right from when I was a kid, I've always had this thing about movies. Even back then, self, I used to like kind of rewrite, scripts. You watch a popular movie and then you go back and start, kind of rewriting the dialogues. That's actually how I got into filmmaking. Then I didn't really know that it was going to be a career for me. It was just something, to while away time, back then as a kid. So when I actually grew up and wanted to, pick a career for myself, just decided to, I not just look for something which, you're already good at, and which comes easy to you. And filmmaking was that it was that for me. So so I'm gonna say I'm a lover of cinema. I love cinema, and also a filmmaker.
You recently relocated to Lagos from Benin. Tell us your experience as a filmmaker from Benin and what experience prompted your relocation.
Yeah, my whole journey about being serious as a professional filmmaker started off in Benin. Yes, Benin kind of gave me that environment for me to experiment. Actually, when I started filmmaking, the opportunity, the vibe around that period, I was talking about 2020, 2019, was really encouraging because the government was, putting everything in place to make filmmaking easy for us. We were getting incentives from the government that time. It was the past government. So there was a feature for filmmaking in Benin that you just know that this is a community that is going to grow in the next 10 years. So I wanted to be part of it. So that was how I started. Going out to every filmmaking conference that was held, because at that time the Edo State government were really, really, really trying to create that community. There were tutorials almost every weekend. There were avenues for us to meet other filmmakers, discuss. There were film festivals. I think I got a chance to preview my first short film on the Edo State Film Festival. So, and through that festival, I was able to meet many filmmakers. So the experience was nice until when the past administration left, and we had this one which and everything just went to shit. And the whole enthusiasm, the whole community just kind of died off. I tried my personal best, to create a community in Benin. I reached out by organizing filmmaking events. Like last 2 months, I was able to last 2 months we did a film festival which was called the Short Fest, and it was good. People attended, but I just felt that that was the best I could do. I could not at I can't do all this alone without backing, and since I didn't have that financial muscle, I just gave up and decided, let me just come down to Lagos where the system is already there, where I won't be, the community is already there in Lagos. So that's why I decided to just come to Lagos to see if it if I can take my filmmaking career to the next level. So here I am trying to so that's why I relocated to Lagos.
As a filmmaker, a good one at that, what would you say defines what story to tell and how to tell them?
Like I first of all, I'm still discovering the kind of filmmaker I am. As the more I do more projects, the more I discover what kind of story I love to tell. But recently I figured out that I love telling stories about ordinary people with extraordinary lives. I also love exploring these the father-son dynamic relationship. So if you check most of my scripts which I've written, I've always have this father-son dynamic relationship dynamic. I love family drama. Also love sports drama. And so those are the kind of stories I'd say. I don't do horror. I'm very horror fan, so I don't do horror. But the rest, I do. So let me just say I do family drama and then family drama. Yeah.
Not to be the type that compares, but compared to the other film industry globally, getting started in filmmaking is an hassle. We all have ideas, but implementing them is the real work. You have over 5 films, including short films, collected to your name. How did you do it, and what advice can you give to our readers?
Yeah, it is. Number one is collaboration and using what you have. I'm big fan of collaboration. So use what you have to create what you want to create. My first film was done by myself. I did everything myself. I shot it with my phone. It was a Redmi 10 at that time. Yes, I saw. My first 3 short films was done with my phone. I had to reach out to other friends who were also in the creative space, and we collaborated. So my advice is collaboration. Use what you have. If you don't need a camera, you don't need a big high-end camera. You can use your phone to start. Just use your phone camera. Because imagine this: when you look back at the history of great directors like Christopher Nolan, the big directors these days, they all started off using camcorder to get those their videos. Imagine if those guys were able to have the phone me and you have, what they would be able to do with it now. So you get. So my advice is that use whatever you have. The first tool in your pocket. First tools in your pocket, which is your phone. So use your phone, use what you have, and also reach out to people. Tell them I have this idea which I intend to do. Can you guys help me out? And I'm sure many of them will help you if you also help them. See, it's just a case of I wash your back and you wash my back.
Can you list 4 directors and 4 projects whose work has inspired you and how?
Yeah, 4 directors and 4 projects which have inspired me. First of all, Sean Baker, Tangerine. Why? Because Tangerine was shot with an iPhone 5. That's when I remember when I saw that documentary for the first time and discovered that so I can really use my phone to actually shoot a film, because that was what Sean Baker. Imagine the kind of limitation iPhone 5 had back then, and if you go and watch that film actually won an Oscar. So you can see that was a film that removed the limitation for me that I don't need a huge or costly camera to just do. I just have to do it with my phone, because if Sean Baker can be able to do Tangerine and win an award on an iPhone, imagine what I can do with a phone which is more sophisticated than iPhone 5. iPhone 5, I don't think iPhone 5 can even take good pictures now. That was what he used to shoot tangerine. So that tells you that it was not about the equipment or the beer. It's about the person using it. So Sean Baker was one. Then another one is Zack Snyder. I've been a big fan of his, and I've studied his work. His work inspired me, and it's someone which I look up to. Another person, Spike Lee. His work on Malcolm X is something which I intend to do. If I ever decide to do a biopic on anybody, I would do it the way Spike Lee did with Malcolm X. So inspired. And also the latest person which has been inspiring me these days is the guy who did Top Gun Maverick and also did F1, which is Joseph Kosinski. I hope I got his name right. One thing about this director is how he uses music and visuals to actually convey every emotions in his film. If you go and watch Top Gun Maverick, which he did with Tom Cruise, you'll discover that in that film, every emotional beat had a music. And sometimes it was not just like diegetic music. There was also some non-diegetic music, which means music that was just coming from the surroundings of the scene. You get me out? So that when I watched that film and I also see what he did in F1, how emotional the film was, and then you hear his accompanying soundtrack. It's like he's trying to tell the audience what to feel and how to feel. That was something that really, really stuck out with me, and since then I've been a fan of his, and I always look out for his work. I can't wait to watch more of his work. I've also watched his interviews also. So I'm a big fan of that guy.
Cinematography and aesthetics help tell stories. Tell us how you concluded with what you did in the audition.
Yeah, the cinematography choices in the audition, like if you watch the audition and when it starts, you will discover that the shots were started off with small shots. Then when our character started having troubles, the camera movement started becoming agitated, and then most of the shots were now mostly of close-up shot to portray how tensed our lead character currently is, to show the audience the state of mind which he currently was at that moment. So that was our decision for the cinematography. Yes, cinematography really, really helped tell stories in a way that you can be able to put out. Like I tell people that if your audience can watch your film on mute and still get the message you are trying to push out, you've won. That's it. If without dialogues, they can be able to watch it with the sound off and still be able to get what you were trying to pass across, I think you've won.
Do you have plans for a feature film, and can you give us a tease for your upcoming projects?
Yeah, I have plans for a feature film. I've already written 2 feature-length scripts, which I hope that as soon as I get in funds to finance it, I will do so. But currently I'm working on a web series which is currently in post-production, which I produced. I didn't direct this. I produced this, which was shot in Benin, and it is a very wonderful story about two people, two lovers who got caught in a web where they, after witnessing a murder, so they have to, flee for their lives while being chased around by two policemen who committed the murder. And it's a very, very nice thriller, which I did for, I think it was 2 million. Yes, 2 million, I think, which I did for 2 million. The web series, it was a very, very tough project, man, but I'm glad that I did that. So I can't wait for you guys to see that.
Many Nigerian films rely heavily on star actors to draw attention. Do you think there's enough space for new voices in Hollywood today?
Yeah, I feel there's still enough space for new voices to pop out, to pop through, because I feel that if you watch most of the movies done now, yes, they are star actors, but you still find that there are also new voices. Like maybe the star actor might be the lead character, might be the lead role, but the other supporting roles might be from new voices. How I do it is that you use you give the lead role to a star actor, to draw in the crowd, to pull people to come and watch your film, and then you give the supporting roles to new voices for them to shine and also get recognition. So that's how I intend to do it. That's how I advise people to do it. Yeah, there's still enough space for new voices to shine through in Hollywood.
Streaming platforms like Netflix and Prime Video are changing Hollywood landscape. Do you see this platform as an opportunity for independent filmmakers like yourself, or as a gate that's still hard to pass through?
Not going to lie, it is hard. It is hard. It is hard for independent filmmakers like myself who doesn't have connection to get a Netflix deal. It is hard. So it is hard. It's hard. But I feel that as long as you keep doing your stuff, there's bound to be a time where you will surely meet someone who knows someone who will get that deal for you. But when you're starting out, it's hard to get an opportunity for your film to be on platforms like that. It is still difficult.
Your films, The Audition, The Long Wait, talk about youth struggles. How much of that storytelling is shaped by Nigeria's economic and social environment?
All of it, I would say all of it is shaped by the Nigerian economic and social environment, because they are all based on it, based on my own, like The Long Way is based on my own personal experiences. They tell you to go to school and come out and you get good, if you get good grades, you get a gainful employment. But when you do all that and you come out and there's nothing for you, because I see most of my guys, including me, the degree which they say we should go get is kind of useless now. You don't even use it. You can't even use it because there's no work out there. And whichever work which you find, you send application, you keep sending application, you don't get any call back. All you get is rejection after rejection. You kind of get to you kind of create this feeling within you that maybe the world doesn't really need you that much. You get me? Everything is all about you have to find work for yourself. You have to find work for yourself. There's no work out here. And this thing is that it's not everybody that can create work for themselves. That's why they all went to school, for them to be able to be gainfully employed. So yeah, it's messed up, really. It's messed up.
Are there challenges Nigerian filmmakers face that someone in Hollywood or even South Africa might never encounter?
Yeah, first of all, there's no grant. You rarely get grants. Unlike Hollywood, there's no grant. Film academy, film grants here are hard to come by compared to Hollywood or South Africa. And then there's no sponsorship. Like Netflix left and they took all their money away. So there's no money now for someone to give to you to go and shoot a film. You have to on your own source for funds, and it's hard. It's hard sourcing for funds to shoot a film, especially when you're not that well to do. So it's tough. And also for you to be able to get your money back, even after investing everything you have on your movie, it's hard to get your money back because the cinema is dying. Like, people don't go to cinema as they used to do because of disposable income currently is low. You get me? And the economic reality is not very, very suitable at this moment for people to be, for people to, bring out money from their pocket to buy a ticket to go see your film. So it's kind of hard. It's very, very hard. When Netflix came, they gave us an outlet, sponsoring some of our films, but we all know how that one ended. So it's hard. It's very, very tough. I think the trends we face here, in South Africa, you just check their lineup. They have mostly all their films on Netflix. Most of their films go to Netflix. If you compare the movies if you compare Nollywood movies that are on Netflix this year compared to compared to that of South Africa or Hollywood, there's a big margin. There's a big difference. So yeah, the challenge this year is tough. It's tough here than other parts. And then when you want to market your project, you just have to rely on friends and people and fans who love what you do to be able to engage it and spread the message, because you can't afford proper marketing.
As a filmmaker working mostly with low or no budgets, what does the reality of filmmaking in Nigeria look like on a day-to-day basis?
Yeah, as a filmmaker working mostly with little or low budget, I said the reality is tough, but you have to make do of what you have. You get me? Like the last project which I did, I remember that I had to play multiple roles myself because of funding, because there was no money, and also you also have limited equipment to work with. There are many times which I've used, most of my projects I use normal household bulbs to light it as lighting, because there was no budget for me to go and rent proper light. You can't rent cameras, so sometimes I use some of my friends' phone. Maybe if you have a good phone like iPhone 15 or iPhone 13, whatever, so we use those ones to shoot it off. That one will cut costs. You don't have to go and start looking for money to rent cameras, which are very, very expensive. And also, you can't pay your cast properly, give them at least something that they can be able to take on. Most of the times, you just have to beg them to come on set, and you pay their tea fare and feed them. That's it. But it's tough. It is hard. It's tough.
The Nigerian audience love entertainment, but sometimes avoids film that reflects harsh realities. Have you ever felt the pressure to create more commercial stories instead of social conscious ones?
No. I don't feel any pressure. I have to I always tell myself I'm going to tell a story which I want to tell, even if it might not be commercially viable, but I'm just going to tell the stories I have to tell, so I don't feel any pressure to tell a particular story because it appeals more to Nollywood than, because I feel that whenever I'm kind of crafting a story, I don't really think about this one is like for Nollywood. No, I think about if this film goes global, will people be able to relate with it? Most of the times, people in Nigeria might not be able to relate with it, but when it crosses to other shores, to other places, they might like it. So I don't really I don't have that pressure to create stuff for a particular set, because I believe that whatever I try to create, there's always someone out there who is willing to, who it is for, who will accept it. So I don't have that pressure. I don't really get that pressure. I just create what I want to create.
Looking at the future, what do you think Nigerian cinema needs most? E.g., better infrastructure, more funding, stronger training, or a change in audience taste?
We need better infrastructure. Yes, there is no infrastructure in place. Yes, we need funding, but we need that infrastructure first of all, because even if like Netflix came, they brought all the funding, and we all know how that moment Amazon came, they brought all the funding, and nothing. So I don't think we need funding. What we need are better infrastructure and stronger training. We don't need any change in audience taste. The audience, no. I just think that you can be able to get a good infrastructure in place and then stronger training. We are good to go.
Imagine you could send one of your short films back in time to your 15-year-old self. Which film would you send, and what do you think that teenage Ernest would see after watching it?
I think if I had an opportunity to send one of my short films back in time to my 15-year-old self, to be The Long Wait, because Long Wait was actually that short film that actually told me that, yeah, you can really do this. You get me? So I feel that if I should send that film to my 15-year-old self, the first thing he will say is that, wow, you actually did this. Because I know the thing is that I was self-taught. Everything I learned was from YouTube, and I don't really have that much, on set experience before I actually did that. The Long Wait. The Long Wait was kind of like an experiment to tell myself to see if I can be able to at least do something. And after I did it and I saw the reaction to it, I was like, wow, I really could do this filmmaking thing. So it's got to be The Long Wait. And I think after watching it, my teenage self will say, well done.
Thank you to our viewers for watching or listening to this interview with Idiagi Ernest. For clarity, this interview was done through Twitter DMs with Idiagi Ernest and Adedayo. A special thank you to Ibrahim Steven, who is the editor and co-founder of Streamdorm, and a big thank you to our listeners, our followers, our subscribers. Please make sure you are subscribed to Streamdorm for more interviews like this. We are building and moving forward with the types of content and how we present content for the benefit of the film industry, music industry, and the entertainment industry as a whole. My name is Adedayo, and this is Streamdorm.